Welcome all to Rural Rhythm Farm and our announcement. I'm going to start right off with the main reason we're all here, the person who took the leadership to get us to this point to bring solar into Howard County. So without further ado, County Executive Calvin Ball.
Thank you so much, Josh, and thank you for your leadership, your partnership, and your vision. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the beautiful, picturesque Rural Rhythm Farm right here in Dayton. I want to thank the Bauer family for opening up your farm today, and also for your family's lifelong commitment to agriculture and agricultural innovation. And that's why we're here today, to benchmark major progresses for places like Rural Rhythm Farm and for places all across Howard County. Today, we're taking a massive step towards creating a clean, sustainable future for Howard County and the rest of our state. This month, the Howard County Council unanimously passed Council Bill 17, a solar zoning regulation amendment, allowing solar in every zone across the county, including on agricultural land. This new regulation expands opportunities for solar within the county to allow rooftop solar collectors in all zoning districts, allow ground mount community solar farms in more zoning districts, including in commercial and industrial districts, and a preliminary and final review by the Agricultural Preservation Board to allow input on the details of the project, limit the size of ground mount commercial solar facility on agricultural land preservation program properties, and require that ground mount solar facilities on AgPres property provide pollinator or native grass habitats, grazing for livestock, or other ecologically enhancing alternative under the solar array. These innovative and important changes are based on recommendations from our incredible solar task force who have worked through the past year to study solar zoning regulation in neighboring jurisdictions so that we could be the vanguard. The expansion of solar puts Howard County at the forefront in Maryland in our fight against climate change and puts us on track to meet our renewable energy goals, including receiving 20% of our power for local government operations from renewable sources by 2024, cutting energy use in our facilities by 25%, well beyond the required 15% reduction, making Howard County the first jurisdiction to go beyond the state requirements. It's also vital that this legislation expands business opportunities for commercial and industrial districts and for many farms and preserved agricultural property like our friends right here. Howard County has more than 300 farms and has preserved approximately 23,000 acres of agricultural land. Imagine for a moment, if you will, the clean energy and power we can generate if just a fraction of this land is used for solar, not to mention the benefits it brings to our local businesses and our environment. Now is the time, and now is our chance to make Howard County the leader in clean solar energy. I'd like to thank our county council for their support and passage of this legislation, and again to our solar task force for doing the research and helping us draft impactful meaningful legislation and regulations to increase solar here in our community. I'd also like to thank the many champions on climate action. We continue to fight climate change together for a brighter future for Howard County. Together, we can continue to create a cleaner, more sustainable environment, protect our planet, and power the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ball. I want to take 1 second and just remind everybody that this work, this is what fighting climate change looks like. You will see in jurisdictions across the state, across the country, places where they make the declarations, they make the statements, form the goals. But then when the work gets hard, when you actually have to go in and figure out how you're going to implement these things, you see them backing off. But we went through and did that hard work. You see when in jurisdictions in Maryland, you have seen places where they talk a good game about supporting farms as it relates to environmental work, but never listening to the farmers and what they need in order to make this work. And we went through with our solar task force, with the work that we've done to do that work. And it's worth noting that we have gone through this process. And I will say just one improvement on what the county executive said with the solar array that's going in here, and the county will be buying the power off of that solar array, and we now believe we're going to get to over 50% of our county our county power will be coming from solar. So we are aggressively going after and fighting climate change. And with that, we can't do this without partners in government and in our legislative branch. And no bigger partner, no stronger environmentalist than our vice chair, Dr. Opal Jones.
Good morning, friends. Leading the charge to reduce the usage of plastics and greenhouse gas emissions has always been at the forefront of my legislative agenda and platform. Earlier this year, I was thrilled to vote in favor of Council Bill 17, 2021, expanding solar opportunities within the county to do some of the following: allow rooftop solar collectors in all zoning districts, specifically allowing ground-mounted solar in commercial and industrial districts, add a preliminary and final review by the Agricultural Preservation Board to allow input on the placement and other details of the project, limit the size of ground-mount commercial solar facility on agricultural land preservation program properties, and more. As community leaders, we must continue to work towards a cleaner future for future leaders. Therefore, it gives me great pride to highlight another necessary success, the passage of $90,000 in this year's fiscal year 2020 operating budget. This will enable the Office of Community Sustainability to update the Climate Action Plan. Data will be collected so that Howard County can measure and decrease greenhouse gas emissions. Thank you to our County Executive, Dr. Ball, our state delegation for your continued leadership. Thank you for all that are here, and to the Bauer family as well, to ensure that Howard County is one of the best places to live in the Old Line State. Have a safe Memorial Day weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. Look, when I said do the hard work, I didn't really mean me, just so we're clear. I don't do the hard work. But you know who does is the person I'm introducing next, and especially on this project, on putting together the zoning regulation amendment. And to explain what it was, I will, the hard worker, DPZ Director Amy Gowan.
Thanks, Josh. You're giving me too much credit. Thank you for allowing me to be here today. This is a great milestone for all of us. As Director of Department of Planning and Zoning and a member of the Solar Task Force, I was so pleased to be able to take their collective recommendations and put them into action. After the conclusion of the task force, DPZ combed through all of our regulations in an effort to open up all zoning districts to solar, so we could not only build on the consensus of the task force, but be a leader in the state on solar energy. Hence our 98-page legislation, which I can assure all of you was no small feat. In drafting the legislation, we considered the obstacles that we see every day in our existing code that make it difficult for solar installation, from everything as small to accessory residential arrays to large-scale commercial solar facilities. And we sought to clear those hurdles and create a solar-friendly permitting process to work hand in glove with our expedited solar permitting process we already have. We really appreciate the partnership of everyone involved, the agricultural community, our local and state environmental community, and the Howard County Council for helping pass legislation that expands opportunities for renewable energy in Howard County. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Gowan. Next, I want to introduce Ricky Bauer, owner of Rural Rhythm Farm. And I say this with all earnestness. As we went through this process, as we went through the amendments that came forward, either through us or through other means, we spent a lot of time thinking, how is this going to impact this project here? Because this project here is the model for how we can protect the farmer, protect the farm, and fight climate change all at the same time. And we couldn't be doing it without the leadership of the Bauers. So.
Hello, I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank Howard County, the council, the Ag Pres Board for getting us to this point. I want to especially thank Dr. Ball. I know this has been a passion of his for years to try to get this on Ag Pres ground. And I see he's got a big smile on his face that we finally have maybe gotten to this point. We were interested in this because we were approached by KD Solar that this project would actually go to the benefit of Howard County to fulfill their mandate to the state. So that was very appealing to us, that it benefited the county itself. And for us personally, it helps with our financial stability of the farm for the future, for future generations, not just for me, but the whole Bauer family who owns this farm. I am not the only owner. So again, I want to thank you all for coming and hope everything moves forward here well. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. And then finally, I want to introduce Liz Fainer from HOCO Climate Action. You know, when you see, if you for some reason are spending time watching legislative sessions, there's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes that you don't, that you're not going to see in that. And one thing is you're going to have activists who are stepping up and are pushing for and against legislation. This legislation does not pass without the work of our climate activists. And so to represent them, I asked Liz Fainer to come up and talk.
Thank you. I wish to thank County Executive Calvin Ball and Joshua Feldmark for the opportunity to speak today. I'm Liz Fainer with HOCO Climate Action, along with Barbara Christensen and co-founders Ruth Alice White and Betsy Singer. And we are delighted to be here supporting solar moving forward in Howard County under the direction of County Executive Calvin Ball. HOCO Climate Action is a grassroots organization that has been working to inspire and engage the people of Howard County to take action to address the climate crisis since 2007. We advocate for clean energy and against dirty fossil fuels at the county, state, and federal levels. We are in a climate emergency, and we must move quickly from fossil fuels to clean energy in order to avert the worst climate catastrophes. So we are thrilled that Howard County is committed to having more than 50% of the energy needed for government operations come from locally generated solar power, all while saving $1.2 million over the next 25 years. We welcome the solar expansion as a first but critical step in our efforts to transition to a clean economy. Smart solar development benefits not only the climate, but the farmers whose livelihoods are at risk from more severe and unpredictable weather that comes with a changing climate. Installing solar arrays along with harmonious agricultural uses such as pollinator or native grass habitats provide a powerful tool for creating healthy soils and sequestering carbon, a win-win for farmers and the environment. We know we have a lot more to do to address the climate emergency, and we are proud to work with this administration and county officials to make sure solar can continue to expand quickly in Howard County, as solar is the fastest growing job market in the U.S. Because of this urgency, we have rallied, lobbied, marched, and testified for clean energy options against fossil fuels. Several of our proud accomplishments include banning fracking in Maryland in 2017, passing the Offshore Wind Act of 2013, the Clean Energy Jobs Act of 2019, and community solar in 2015. We have been strong champions for community solar and encourage our members and the public to subscribe to a community solar farm, as it is one of the most effective and equitable ways to dramatically increase clean energy in Maryland. We are grateful for this opportunity to talk today and look forward to more exciting work by Howard County to transition to clean, affordable energy through potential programs such as Clean Choice Energy and the expansion of geothermal. We are committed to taking action for our children and future generations. And I'd like to close with a favorite quote of mine, a Native American proverb: as we are on the land of the Piscataway, Conoy, as well as other tribes, we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. And if there are questions, we'll be hanging around for a few minutes so you can step forward and ask questions. But other than that, thank you all for coming, and have a good day.